Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to where we talk about news. Wow. So, been a while. We're going to the hell, man. We're going to go through some pretty interesting things that are definitely worth our view. And again, for those of you who know this channel, right? And for those of you that might show up here new, yeah, I'm just giving you news. You think about the things that you see and hear, and you make decisions for your life. But let's hear some of the interesting things going on.
I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
That's pretty impressive. So CBDCs, if you're new, you probably don't know. If you've been here for some time, we're talking about controlled currency, like, give you X amount, put a time limit on it, regulate what you can and can't buy. So this would be the equivalent to, for instance, like food stamps, right? I don't know if any of you know about that, but food stamps, they don't have a limited time, but you can use them for what it's used for, food, right? So like you can buy food with it, and that's what it's for. So it's like a money or a currency that's good for food, and you can only buy food with it. You can't buy anything else with it. So when you think about a central bank digital currency, what they're kind of saying is the central bank controls it, like they print the money now. Well, that one central unit, right, controls it. And we do have stable coins. So what he's saying is a free market in a sense. Everybody can pretty much, not everybody, but like, free market. That's the best way I can understand it. Pretty impressive, right? And so we already heard Trump say that going forward in the future, XYZ won't be taxed. So in the mindset of fixing or repairing the United States, because that's where we are. We're in the United States. These are some of the things they're looking at. Interesting. All right. History will repeat itself. This is a post from Jack the Rippler. So yeah, way back when, obviously, if you were there in the space at that time, you saw that, right? You saw it go up and then it went down, right? So like, if you were in that space at the time, then January, February, March, I want to say April, somewhere around May, numbers were great, money was being made, and then boop, 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 everything went rock bottom. So for noobs, like myself, yep, you lost money. But we're moved on to something else. We're in it again this go round. We moved into January 2025, and we're prepared. We see and we better understand what's going on this go round. For those of you who know, and if you don't know, it is what it is. You're gonna find out. All right, let's get this one. So Amy Lee shared this video from somewhere. Let's see what this going on here.
And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, we believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share. And we
So it's amazing how years ago, just all these conversations, these people having these conversations, this stuff was unheard of. It was taboo, and nobody wanted to talk about it. It was just, don't talk about it, right? And it's funny because being in the space then, we all saw, and you all know who you are, we all saw an end game. And an end game, which we saw years ago, was clearly not using these old currencies, right? We all knew that there was going to be a level playing field coming down the line, and we knew it was going to be for all countries. And at one point, even Barack Obama had said while he was in office that there will come the day where there will be an even playing field, where people or countries, services and goods would value their currency or their dollars. So, you step back and look at that and think about it like this has been in the making for a long time. And you would be sadly mistaken if you think that this wasn't the new financial system that we were looking at. And don't take my word for it. Go back to some of the older videos and see what was taking place years ago. Things were being discussed. None of this stuff is new. You're just seeing people now take hold of it, and you're seeing a little bit of money come into the space. Not yet. We haven't seen a lot of money yet. We're waiting on big time market caps. We're waiting on $10-15 trillion total crypto market cap. 3 trillion, 4 trillion. We're not talking anything. 5 trillion. Oh yeah, you'll make a little bit more money, but that's not what we're waiting on. If you've been in here in this space for years, you're waiting on big numbers. And obviously what you just heard was the tokenization of everything. So we have stock market, and in the stock market, this is what I've been thinking for years. I believe if any of you are familiar with the young guy, Quincy, who went to work for, I want to say XDC. Did he go work for XDC company? What company did he go to work for? He was a young guy. He still is. Young guy that worked on cryptocurrencies and coding and all that stuff. And he was breaking down so well the details of how these things work. And he say all the time, you do understand, non-fungible tokens, what they really do, and how you look at artwork and you think that's it, and when you step back and think about all the things you can tokenize and you can put it on a digital market. Oh, but everyone's scared. If you ever get rid of electricity or something gets down, you lose your information. True, not true, but all this has been in the making for years. So I'll just say, to add on to that, what you're hearing this guy say here, server buildings underground have been being built for years now. Data is the new gold, and this has been said since years ago. This is nothing new. Data is the new gold, right? Privacy is everything, but privacy is over. There's no more privacy. You'll have to pay for privacy. That's what I truly believe is coming down the pipeline. You will pay for privacy. And even then, you're really not going to have privacy. But, it just helps clean things up a bit. Because a lot of things, like people say, this stuff is for criminals. That's not true. A lot of people that have been moving in the crypto space, doing illegal things, have been caught because of the crypto space. Like that don't confuse this. They know exactly what they're doing. It's doorways and addresses, and these things are tracked. Can you imagine taking a dollar bill and making it so that it can read your fingerprint when you touch it, and then it gets moved to another place and another fingerprint touches it, right? And then the fingerprint is merged into that paper. I know it can't happen, but just imagine if that's how dollar bills work. So just imagine that dollar bill had all these fingerprints touch it, right? And each fingerprint was validation of the person that held it. So that's what cryptocurrencies really are. It's validation of holders of it. And this is why KYC, knowing your customer, is very important in this space. And that's why a lot of exchanges can no longer operate and exist here in the United States. So there is no secrecy. There is none of that. You're committing crimes. Okay, help yourself. Have fun with that, but you're going to get caught. So that's where they're going. And he's telling you, like, that's major. So if you don't know, now you should know. It's not a game. All right. Amy Lee again. I believe I said that right. Hope I did. Growing number of institutional experts are forecasting XRP to reach 10,000. It could. It definitely could. I could see that happening with some time under the belt. I'm not a predictor, but I do imagine what I want to see. And that's just me imagining what I want to see, right? The leading DeFi token on the XRP ledger, CFT token, has just added Amazon and Walmart to its partner list. Yes, CTF token, and its total supply is a restricted 119. Okay, all right, let's dig into this real quick.
Would settle on agreement, so this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. And our lives will be, maybe the same, maybe different. I don't know. Probably a little different. Would settle on agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between 10,000 and.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That would be awesome to see those numbers. I'm just not looking to see them anytime soon. But nonetheless, that's interesting. Michael Branch shared U.S. lenders lose $46 billion as customers at Capital One, Citi, J.P. Morgan Chase, Synchrony, Discover, Citi, and Bank of America face billions in delinquencies. Don't know how true that is. It says from thedailyhuddle.com. So clearly we can click that link and go view. But what is most important is we are in the United States, a society built on credit. And so loans make the United States go round. And if you don't believe that, look at the debtclock.org and see how much debt actually exists in the United States and the creators of it, because whether it be businesses, corporations, or people, families, whatever, everybody's played a part in this high debt, taking these loans. And don't get it confused, even big companies take loans from banks. That's how they operate. So the United States operates on IOU. And if that's true, well, that's just letting us know we're prepared in the right place, because the dollar eventually has to go bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, let's see. FDIC told banks to pause Bitcoin services pending new guidelines. So there's an article there. That's pretty interesting. What's going to happen in the United States as far as cryptocurrency, because we do understand that Donald Trump had said XYZ would be legal in a sense, United States cryptocurrency, and would not be taxed. So it's pretty interesting. I don't know if he said legal. more than he said not taxed, but I would assume it would have to be legal to be sold and not taxed, right? So pretty interesting there. With the Bitcoin, right? Like, and we know there's essentially nobody you can pin to Bitcoin, like a lot of cryptocurrencies. So it's interesting to see that. All right, Wall Street 2.0. Institutions are coming. Oh, really? Are they? Are they really coming? Like, no way institutions are coming, right? Okay, we got no audio. Wall Street 2.0 is coming. Let's see. Ondo in the news. Ondo is bringing institutional grade finance on chain. The first ever Ondo summit will bring together the biggest names in traditional finance and blockchain. Save the date as we unveil the next era of finance, streaming live from New York City on February 6th, 2025. We can't wait to show you what we have. I can't wait to see what you got planned. That gets me hyped up. Ondo, what are you doing? Let's continue. All right. Some of the institutions that are coming. TCC, Franklin Templeton, Broad Something, Wisdom Tree, BNY, Broadridge. That's what it is. Broadridge. Looks like Fidelity Investments. That's a major one. A lot of 401ks are there. Swift banking system, right? We already know what's happening there. ISO 20022. What else do we have? MasterCard. A lot of you credit card users, as well as myself, we know about MasterCard. This is amazing, actually. They're going to be discussing something February, 5th? What was that date? BlackRock. We all know BlackRock. We know what they're doing. Right. Amazing, right? We already knew this was happening. Again, you've been in this space for a few years. You already knew that this is the end game. And so I'll say this, who wants to do, and for those of you who are in this space new and you don't know, oh man, one of the most awesome things, I'm just going to do a little chit chat right now. One of the most awesome things that I found when I first got in this space was how easy I could transfer value or money. I was like, wow, wait. And I tried a little bit of everything. When I first got in the space, it was, of course, all Bitcoin, right? And most people come in and get into Bitcoin and that's it, right? That's what you know. It was the same back then. And oh, wow, like, well, this is cool, but man, it takes some time to move this. And I wasn't sure about it. And I was just waiting. Then, learning about chains built off of Ethereum, and like, wow, I've got to pay in Ethereum. And let me tell you, it wasn't that bad in the beginning, but it really ramped up quick and got ugly. Especially they had to make these second layer chains, right? It was so ugly to the point where it would cost $30, $40, $50, $100 to make a transaction. And before you say, oh, that's not bad to make a transaction, if you're spending $10,000, what is $100? Well, no. You could be trying to move $40, $50 at those times, and you'd be hit with the lines are full. It's going to cost you $30, $40, $50. Like, I'm not paying that to move $40, $50. That's crazy. And it's still not any better now. You do have your second layer chains, but like, it still takes a long time. And it's just right. And I learned these things, and then I stumbled across Taboo, XRP, and Stellar Lumens, right? And that's what it pretty much was at the time. There was a few other things that were built off of those. For instance, Casino Coin. There's a few of them. I don't want to get into it. But so those things, when I got to using those, I was like, oh, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to use XRP or Stellar Lumens for a transaction. I'm sending money that way. Right? Because it was instantaneous, like 1, 2, 3 transactions done. You're not looking for anything. And it's still the same today. There's just other crypto currencies that can do similar things as far as speed goes. But those were the major things happening then. It's really not changed that much. We still see those things happening today, and no business, right? And just imagine this. None of them got long-winded. Just imagine you go to a grocery store. Pick one, right? Let's just pick any store, right? Let's say you go into a grocery store and they accept cryptocurrency payments. What are they likely to accept versus what they're not likely to accept? Well, anything that's going to take more than 5 seconds to transact in and finalize the transaction. Oh, wow. Well, what does that mean? A lot of currencies can't do that. So a lot of currencies are automatically not going into the grocery stores. I just want you to know that. Now, for these bridging mechanisms to get these currencies to run over other networks that move fast and have these instantaneous transactions, that is definitely a possibility. I haven't seen that in play and I haven't used it myself, so I couldn't tell you how that works. But what I could tell you is, if for some reason I was going into a grocery store and let me add this, they're not going to want to accept the cryptocurrency. They're going to want to accept a stable coin. So again, let's just think about this. A stable coin that runs on a very fast network, which is cost efficient, is what they're going to want to do, because they don't want any of that money that they transacted in going below the value of what the charge was. So just imagine you did a charge of $25 at a grocery store, and in your transaction it took 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Not that they're going to accept it, but let's just say you pick some second layer currency from a said network, and it takes 25 minutes, and in that process of 25 minutes, this currency, not being stable, loses 5% of its value. Then whatever you just bought at XYZ price, they just took a loss on it. What company is taking a loss on any transactions that they're doing? None of them are doing that. So just understand that stable coins have to exist. You don't have to like it. It has to exist. These networks that'll move the value of money over the internet. That's how it works. And so no store, no bank, no business is going to want to lose money in a transaction that takes too long anyway. They're going to want the fast, instantaneous transaction, and they're going to want their money in value that doesn't change. So they're going to want something like a USDC that operates on stellar lumens. They're going to want something like RLUSD that operates on XRP's chain. These are the things they're going to want. Tether, right? I've done Tether transactions. It takes some time, right? And it cost an Ethereum. Who wants to pay Ethereum exorbitant amounts just to do transactions? Nobody. All right, so that got long-winded. I know it did. So we're going to kill it there. There's tons of things going on out there. It's been a while. I'll try to keep content posted, especially as we are in that next cycle. We are in that swing cycle, and we're watching things go up. And they haven't made those big breakaway moves upward yet. And just a reminder, XRP is still sitting over $2. For those of you who come from far back, we know we watched that thing sit floating around. What was it? 47, 48, 50, 51, 54 since for years. So keep your eyes on the prize. Keep getting informed. Keep listening, and make the best decisions you can. Catch you all in the next one.